Hello there. Aren't you gonna answer? I have with me many decks today. I don't know which ones we're gonna use. I forgot to bring the crystals. I gotta get those. But welcome to the channel. If you didn't check out my radio recording, you should. You could ask any question about the future. But you can't see anything, unfortunately. I was having a cold and didn't want to record. Because you gotta edit the video and stuff. And it takes some time and effort. These are what I tend to call the techno cards. These are neon light inspired tarot cards. I tend to call them just the techno cards. They're very cool. And I'm gonna get them into 3 different piles for you. And I have a list on my computer, my stationary one. I have like a Microsoft to-do list where I just put in all the ideas I get for tarot readings. And then I just do them when I feel like it. And I put them up and they're timeless so you can watch them anytime. And today, none of the ones on the list. I wanted to do a reading, but I didn't want to do anyone on the list. So I just kind of meditated for a moment and tried to see like what reading would be the most prominent for those of you who watch, right? And the answer was like stagnant/stuck. And so this is for you if you feel like you're stagnant or stuck, like you don't you feel like you want to like move on or do something else, you can't kind of get further, stuck in something, situation, maybe in time, whatever. But we're gonna get the crystals too, but also for each pile I'll pull a signifier card from the Egyptian gods deck. Healing for pile 2, order and peace for pile 3, and for pile 1, perseverance. I'll get the crystals. Now I'll show you. Alright, so I got the crystals for you. If you're wondering why I do the video shots like this, it's just because I feel like it gives a little less of a serious vibe, a little more chill. A little formalist there. If you're a film scientist, you'll know what that means. You can look it up if you want to know. Okay, so for pile 1, we have perseverance, which is this card here. And we have this crystal here. For pile number 2, we have this card here, healing. And this crystal here. And for pile number 3, order and peace. And this crystal here. Now I know sometimes I mumble a bit. I'll try and speak loud and clear. But what you also can do until I get kind of like a mic that I can just put on here, because that will be the best way to go, I think. You can also put on like the automatic texting to get a text version of what I'm saying as well, if it's unclear. Okay, I'll see you in your pile. Alright, pile 1. Perseverance. And this beautiful Jupiter-looking crystal here. Not in the shape, but in the colors. And we're gonna, I think first we're gonna look at your situation, whatever is keeping you stagnant or stuck, right? 6 of Cups, 9 of Wands, 2 of Cups, 8 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, King of Wands, Ace of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands. So let's first talk about your signifier card, Perseverance, which is staying strong in the face of difficulty, right? Imagine someone standing like firm against the wind. The wind is pushing, but you're standing. No, I'm gonna stay here. Strength in times of adversity, right? Fighting, being agile, even adaptive to the environment. And I imagine this bird here kind of like sticking to its nest, resisting to move from its nest. It's gonna stay there no matter what. No matter what God throws at him. And in terms of, it's kind of stubborn, which might be a clue already to what's keeping you stuck. Stubbornness. Let's see, 6 of Cups, 9 of Wands, 2 of Cups. So I'm sensing this is like an imaginary state. Like maybe you dreamt of something greater. You imagine things will be different. And you're refusing to let go, right? No, if I keep here in my nest, here this bird, then yes, it shall be, you say to yourself. I just have to stay here, no matter the tornadoes and the lightnings and the warning signs, because you have this imaginatory sequence, something which isn't in your physical reality per today, but maybe you want it to be, and so you're staying, in your physical reality. It's very stubborn, staying where you are, because you want this imaginatory sequence, or maybe even life, right, to be there in your physical reality. Let's see, 8 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles, as above, so below. This is a common phrase in spirituality, and it can refer to many things, but typically we use gods as the analogy, right? When it is so for the gods, it is also so for us in a different way, but you can see a reflection, just like the mountain here, have a reflection. And so if you're wondering why you're stuck in this stubbornness, think as above, so below. However that resonates with you. You can use the analogy, right, the metaphor. in the above world, and let's use the Greek gods then, right? In the Olympus mountain where Zeus lives and all the gods, and Hercules was born, right? Whatever is going on in your life is happening there, but in a grander divine scheme or sense. And so you're the reflection of that. And this metaphor, you can look into that spiritually, or you can apply it, to whatever situation. It can be like my father before me, for example, or if you're at work, maybe the situation relates to your work life, and it's like, because your superiors are going through this is also reflecting on you as the employee of your superiors. Three of Pentacles, King of Wands, Ace of Cups, Four of Pentacles, and the Seven of Wands. And here I sense like a deep anger. It's like your inner child, right? Because it's like childish anger, and it's inside of you. You're kind of like angry, maybe at God, the world, or a person. And it's like this typical anger that a child might have, who have maybe just learned of God in a Christian sense. And you're angry at him because he's putting you through this, or giving you these hardships, or making you the way you are. And it's childish because the universe is aligned, right? Everything is in perfect harmony and balance. And so whatever God, if you believe in God, or something, fate, destiny, the universe, whatever is happening not to you, but with you, and in harmony with everything else. And it's all gonna, there's gonna be good times and bad times, but it's all gonna be for a higher purpose, right? To make you strong, perhaps, or give you more wisdom, make you more enlightened. Maybe that's why you're watching. Why wisdom? And do you see here, Four of Pentacles, this guy with the two kind of glass lights here. It's kind of weighing them up. Choices, right? So I think this anger inside you is keeping you stuck or stagnant, whether you're angry at God or the universe, or some sort of person who meant a lot to you, who seemed like someone more enlightened than yourself. Could be a priest even, who seems more in tune with your beliefs. And with the choices here, it seems what is this? Seven of Wands. I'll get back to that. Just let me look here first. Yeah, it's like you blocked yourself off from the path. What I wanted to say here, with the purpose, the childish anger, but it's nonsense, because the whole point, what you're so mad about, is here to teach you the value of your choices, consequences, right? The choice you make has consequences, and you have to deal with those. And through learning that, you'll gain strength and enlightenment. You see, and so there's a purpose here, whether you know it or not. This anger is very childish. With the Seven of Wands, it seems like you have blocked yourself off from your path further due to all these things, right? You have this anger at the divine God or a spiritual teacher or a priest. In addition, you have this imaginary sequence, and you have the reflection, right? Which means, it's not all your fault. There are higher beings or workings at stake, which reflects down to you. But in doing so, you have blocked your own path. And you're this bird stuck in his nest, refusing to go further along despite the entire, let's say you're in the Amazon forest and the whole thing is falling down to the tornado. And you're just like, no, this is where I stay. Not gonna work. You gotta learn to let go. And you gotta learn the value of your choices. That is why you're stuck in this energy. So, this is Hidden Futures Oracle cards. And we're gonna look at how you're then gonna break out of this stagnant energy you're stuck in. Keeping you a secret, setting the record straight. Getting played, manipulation, lies, control. Hater. Already knowing the tea. I hate nothing about you. 6 cards here. Keeping you a secret. I think if you want to break out of this stuck and stagnant energy, tip number 1, don't tell anyone. Maybe they'll try and keep you, maybe they'll like it, maybe people around you find solace in your stubbornness and stagnitude. And so if you tell them what you're trying to do and get out of it, that's going to be bad for you. It's going to make it harder for you. So don't tell anyone that you're planning to move on. Setting the record straight. It means being honest, right? If there's some deception here, lies you told, or white lies, right? Setting the record straight, be cool, be honest, get the junk out of there, get the junk out of there, be honest, say it straight out, like it is, to clear the air, so there's no, this tension which comes with keeping lies or deception up, will just be cleared out if you set the record straight, right? Getting played, manipulation, lies, control. You're not in this alone. Whatever, has caused you to be where you are, this isn't a solo up, right? You have been, I want to say carefully manipulated here. People have pushed you, provoked you, grip pressure. You might even get paid, right? And so I want to say, we have the setting record straight, be honest about your role in this, whatever it is. We can look more into that. Let's see. What is this kind of situation here? Ten of Wands, Six of Wands, Queen of Wands. It seems it's a power play, right? It's and some beauty. There's like this beauty. It's beautiful flower, maybe. Can be a symbol of a thing or a person that is very precious to you. And there's a power play here. I sense like this masculine sense of showing off muscle against muscle to impress the girl, right? I am stronger than you. Well, I am stronger than you, and you just kind of getting like this competition between each other before the eyes. You make sure she's watching, and you know, in the end, she'll pick the one she likes or neither. But this is the play here that has been going on that has led you to this stagnant energy. And you gotta set the record straight. You know, you are not in this alone. You're not the sole perpetrator of this situation. And you gotta keep it clean and be honest. Say it right? Don't be scared. We have hater. I already know the tea and I hate nothing about you. This is anger here. It's like going from hate to acceptance, right? It's like maybe there's like this anger here, but you have, I already know the tea. And I sense there's like a difference between what is actually going on and what you want to be going on, right? Also, we already talked about this imaginatory sequence, right? And so what is causing you this anger here with the gods, or God, whatever, the situation at hand, it's because you want this sequence, but it's not here. Maybe you feel you deserve it, but the truth is you already know the tea, you know the gossip, you know the truth. And so you gotta let go of this imaginatory sequence, the things that didn't happen, the things that weren't said. Let them go. Realize you already know all the stuff you need to set the record straight. And you'll end up here. I hate nothing about you. Contentment. You're pleased. You're getting out of the stagnant energy. You know what you have done, what you didn't do, and you let go of the fantasy. And through it, you shall also have learned the value of your choices and which consequences that might have for yourself and others. Alright? I also have time oracle cards here. So why don't we, if you're worried, I want to make use of all the cards. Or maybe not these ones there, those are kind of scary. Let's look at like how long will it take you to get out of here, out of this stagnant energy. This year, stop waiting in reverse. Just around the corner. More than a year. On a holiday. Faster than you think. It's going to take a while. When you release the resistance, patience required. At night, way off in the future. Okay, so we have some different, this year more than a year, only off in the future. This means like it doesn't matter, like whether it's today, tomorrow, next year, in 30 years, no matter, because stop waiting in reverse, it shall pass through you, it seems, if you gotta practice patience. Go on a holiday, get a spa. I think a spa would be really great for you because you could release steam and stress, right? It also just around the corner and it's going to take a while, which means like you might get like a first breakthrough, but then it's gonna take a while for it all to kind of vaporize. But especially this one, stop waiting in reverse, it means that you can relax. You don't have to too much effort for this. Breathe, get a spa, meditate, practice patience, and this shall release through you like a bad meal, right? That is taking some time to digest. So just relax, breathe, and let it go through you. Go to a spa to get some stress out. And you can get like this first breakthrough. And then, the next one might be a while, but it shall pass, like all things do. At night, especially enjoying the city lights. Night's delight. Where you are could be enough, but if you really want, you can also go to a metropolis in a United States city, for example. Really see the total buildings with the light. Be careful when going out on nightlife. There's a lot more people in those cities, and things might be a little bit different. Be careful. Also, with the consumption of alcohol, the norms might be different. All right, but during nighttime, especially, you should be quite ready to release while enjoying neon lights, city lights, and maybe even the night sky. Okay, pile number 1, thank you. Okay, pile number 2, come in. Let's see here. First and foremost, welcome. Healing. And we're gonna look at what is keeping you stagnant first, and then how you can get out. Stuck with stagnant. With the healing card here, yeah, it sounds like you have this need to understand greater things here. Maybe you met a healer or someone very spiritual, maybe both, who has vast knowledge and stuff. Like myself, not to brag. And here you have been inspired, right? You want to be able to do the same. Maybe you want to heal, you want to help, you want knowledge, you want to share. Maybe you want to do these tarot readings like I do. And you have this need to understand it now. And you see this cat cutting off the head of the snake. Or the sea creature. I think it's a snake, yeah. And this snake here is the path. You see? You gotta follow the path to get to the end. And there you'll become this god or goddess here with the knowledge and maybe even the ability to heal yourself and others. But since you're so kind of keen on getting it all now, as if it was something you could just get like that, right? You're cutting off the head blocking your own path. As you shall see, all things in terms of skills and talents and knowledge takes time and a journey. Also fitness and the only thing that doesn't are the things you can buy. Right? You can go to the store and buy a Cola Zero. Doesn't take you much time, effort, or skill. You will need the money. But anything else that you acquire, you'll need to get through the path. Let's see. Pile number 2. What is keeping them stuck, stagnant? King of Cups, the Hermit, 7 of Cups, Nine of Cups, Justice, Eight of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, King of Swords, Two of Wands. Right. Here with the Hermit and King of Cups, it seems you have the idea of a person as it doesn't correlate with the real one. And this can typically happen when you find admiration, right? If you admire this person, you look up to this person, which could be this I feel like it's someone you've regard in a high regard, you know, they're intellectual, smart, can heal, spiritual things, right? And you form in your head through this admiration, this idea of this grander being which doesn't correlate with the exact person in real life. This can happen. I think it's a little unfortunate. Because you gotta eventually let go of the fantasy and realize the actual person is way different than the idealistic view you have. The idol, not ideal, idealistic. It's your idol. Seven of Cups, Nine of Cups. It seems like, you know, you have a path before you. Imagine like a video game and you go into like the talent board where you pick your talents, like maybe you want to learn the breath of a dragon or to harvest minerals. Maybe you want to learn water elemental magic. Now, the path you choose shall lead you on a line of quests. When those quests are completed, at the end, you have learned your ability, and you go back and you pick another. You can choose them all, but let's say you can choose 3 out of 10, and you apply this to your situation. The reason you can't do them all is because of time. There's a limited amount of time in your lifespan, and so you can't learn every skill and every talent in one lifetime, but you can pick out first the one you want the most, then maybe one that's the cleverest, and then you pick a third that is maybe for yourself, your egotistical self, right? And you also need time for rest and relaxation, don't forget. seems you have this, yeah, you have like way too many choices. You can do whatever you want, and it feels reminiscent to kind of a modern complaint I've been hearing a lot with education here in Norway, that people have too many choices. You can do this, you can do that, you can go there, you can go there, you can do this, that, all sorts of different ways to go. And especially boys, but a lot of you girls as well, are kind of like, I don't know which path to take, I don't know what to do, right? And this kind of sensation, you're kind of in there with these teachings, and maybe because you want to be like your idol who has all these different aspects, and you don't know where to start. You can start at any of the 9 of Cups. You don't know which path to take. It's keeping you stuck or stagnant. Here we have Justice, 8 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, King of Swords, and Swords. These are people around you, strong feminine energies and also a masculine one. Could be your friend group, your wife and your best friend, social interactions. Could be your father and a sibling, female sibling or feminine sibling. There are people around you who are very keen of you, they like you. You are the Ace of Pentacles. You are their star. I want to say, you are their star, their cherished beloved diamond. And they are accomplices to keeping you stuck because they want to keep their star, right? And I see joy, drinking, maybe even abuse of substances, and a sense of inheritance to your realm, and possibly even like the sensation of a right to be creators of your own reality within this group, right? And the reason this keeps you stuck is simply because even though you might find solace in this group, and you have kind of like norms where you laugh and you bond over them, and it makes you kind of a unique group, what you inevitably lose is sight of the rest of the world, the other people not in your group, society at large, even the global society. And this person who is your idol that you're so looking up to and trying to be like is very in tune with the global scheme of things. And so to this person, this little group here becomes a denial of truth instead of an acceptance of truth. You hide yourself in this group, in this person's point of view. Now there are many other points of views on reality that you can look up, which could also help you release yourself from being stagnant, right? Like we already talked about, this idol of yours is not necessarily who you imagine them to be. And as such, you know, with this group here where you're the star, you could either break out of it, release yourself from the stagnant energy by getting out of the social norms which exist only within your group, getting back into the global society, or you could embrace it and go a different path than your idol, right? But we're gonna look into it more, because we're gonna use these ones, the hidden futures, what lies beneath, to look more directly into how you can break out of this stagnant energy. Caught, uncovering evidence, getting exposed, cheating, revealed. Falling in apart, falling to pieces, running away. Outdated, discarded, irrelevant, old news, toxic. Sex shop. Recording, divorce. I think the advice from spirit here is definitely to break out of this group here and re-enter the global society, which I would imagine would be the favorable way for your spiritual alignment. Because the truth is the truth anyway, and even though you might shape your own reality within this group with different norms and views, it will never change what is going on outside of the group. Take, for example, the concept of masculinity. It's something we research at the university through academic ways, of course. You also have spiritual science and energies. But let's say this little group here is disregarding the idea of masculinity as something else, and they say, like, well, to us it's psychopathic, let's say, masculine behavior, we call it psychopathic. You know, it's fine, but in the global world outside of this group, the term psychopath still relates to something quite different than the term masculinity, you see. And so you become this pocket dimension where only you use the terms in these ways while the rest of the world moves on, you see. Caught, uncovering evidence, cheating exposed, cheating revealed. So someone, you know, in this group is toxic, and they're hiding things from you. So, you know, it's safer for you to get out. And since you're the star here, it seems the advice is to, you know, break. If you break, you show them you're not divine, they shall lose some interest in you. And you shall be able to get away from what is really outdated point of views, lost beliefs from a different generation, right? I've seen this quite a lot, and through investigating it, I have seen that it's, you know, previous generations from before us, millennials who were born in the mid-90s, you know, maybe even older beliefs than our parent generation. These beliefs, in some cases, they kind of make their way into our younger generations, and there are like these formations where they wanna kind of like pretend like it's still 1985. It's not. It's the 2025, and the reality is what it is. Sex shop, recording, divorce. I think like you wanna, instead of taking part in this group, you wanna find your own whole self that stands on your own two legs and does what you want to do in the way you want to do it. This is the way for your success. This can also help with your amount of choices here. Because if you break out of this group, you find a wholeness within yourself where you can take the actions you want to take as one whole individual. This doesn't mean you won't have friends, but be wary. Pick the friends who are also individuals who do their own thing and who are not dependent on companionship from that kind of companionship where you kind of interconnect into one entity, even though you're several. With recording Divorce Breaking Contract, the Spirit is trying to tell you to tell your story of how you felt in this group and eventually broke out once you do. This should also help healing. It should help heal you and others. Now, whether you do this through podcasts, music, books, however you can, find a way to tell your story to others. And it shall heal you and others as well, maybe even others in this group who won't be as brave as you to get out. Lastly, we have the time oracle cards, and we're going to look at when you can expect to break out of this. Next month, morning, today. Divine timing is at play. Take a break and rushing in. Next month, morning and today. It means, you can start the process already now by taking in these messages. Breathe and meditate. And you should see it already by next month. You will be quite far on your way. This is something you rush into and you just do without thinking too much. And you also have to take a break. Divine timing is at play. So I would say, start today, meditate on these messages that I have told you. Let them sink in at first, and already by next month you should see progress in releasing yourself from this stagnant energy. Divine timing is at play, so don't worry. You shall be guided along the path, which means you can take a break and relax. But then you come to the rushing in. It's like jumping into water. And I think that is, the actual breakout of this group. Once you're ready, you'll just break out. Alright, pile number 2. Thank you. Alright, pile number 3. Those of you who chose this pile, welcome to your reading. And as with every other pile, I'm going to start by looking into what keeps you stagnant and then how you can break out of it. Alright, so your signifier card is Shoot, Order and Peace. And this is kind of like a very fixated idea of justice, I think. It's like building foundations on a strict basis, and maybe it's like building a pyramid, right? And you're building all the bricks, and suddenly you're getting to a place where it stops. And you're like, oh shit, we built the wrong way. We can't continue because it will all crumble down. We have to actually go all the way back and start over because something was wrong in our planning, right? It seems, just from this card, what is keeping you stagnant is that you're stuck there, right where you have built and realized you didn't build it the right way. Where you actually have to go back, but you don't want. You're like, no, we don't want to go back. Keep building. But then it will all fall apart, and so no one is tagging along, right? That's where you're stuck, because you don't want to go back and start over. But something was off in your planning, and so the pyramid was built with the wrong preset. And keeping on building it will only make it fall apart. Alright? Now, we're gonna look more into it here. With these ones. Ace of Swords. The Fool. The Magician. High Priestess. Yeah, like Great Arcana cards. Two of Swords. The Empress. Three of Swords. The Emperor. This is a Wolfman. A person. It's like this adventurer with like a leather jacket, rough hair, and he has like a wolf or a pet, maybe a gun in his pocket. Kind of like a bad boy, right? Ace of Swords. I want to say like there's a sense of how do I put this? It's like going down, or like, let's just say you have I don't know how this correlates, but you have partners who maybe have too much fun. If you know what I mean. Before you. Your partners have way too much fun before you. Let's see, the Magician, the High Priestess. The Emperor. Male dominance. I think you have a wish. You want to form something here which is more pleasurable to yourself. And it's about shaping a new world order, maybe. You want to feel more aligned with your sex. Male, female, right? You want to feel more aligned with your masculinity, especially. And it seems like you are surrounded by very strong women who might guide you along the other way. Because there are, even though like they're strong females, they are, it's the divine feminine here in the Two of Swords. The divine feminine. And maybe you look up to them. Maybe you are surrounded by them, strong women. And so what keeps you stuck here is that those who you look up to are embodying the divine feminine, whereas what you want to do is align more with your masculinity and your own sex. But how this relates to this? It might keep you in a place where you are seemingly fine with partners who aren't really up to par, right? Maybe you are maybe you have too few standards. Look at yourself as this bad boy with a rough hair and a wolf or a pet with a gun in his pocket. You're quite dangerous. You're quite wild. Now, why should she have the benefit of being with you? Why should she have the benefit of being with you, who are this wolf man? That's the way of thinking that will get you to disregard the lovers that aren't good enough for you and who maybe might be having too few standards in their pickup partners. Therefore, you acquire a certain strength here by heightening your standards as the wolfman, where she suddenly needs to meet certain requirements for you. And if she doesn't, she's tossed away. There's always another fish in the sea for the wolfman. You see? And this shall lead you closer to your masculine self. But we're gonna get more into exactly that, how you can break out of your stagnant energy. Getting played, a situation is about to explode. Setting the record straight, keeping your secret, toxic, sexual, divorce, cold. Let's see. First off, getting played. Manipulation lies control, right? So I want to say, like, these divine feminine figures which you have around you already know that what they're doing is misleading you from your masculine self and guiding you to your more feminine side. And I see them kind of laughing at you because you look up to them and you are not kind of hiding it very well. And so they abuse that and manipulate you, get you further away from your goal. A situation is about to explode. Things are about to pop off in flames. I see an anger here. You're gonna get angry. Or someone is. I think for most of you it's you, and for some of you it might be someone else is gonna get mad at you. Anyway, things are gonna go down. There's gonna be anger, yelling, probably not explosions, but maybe it feels like explosions, which is gonna break away your contract here with this divine feminine. Hey, we just had a camera malfunction. I see I only have 4 minutes to record. Because of space, I don't have too much space, so I'm gonna be quick, okay? But you're gonna break out of the contract with your divine feminine. And then also here you have a situation where that you've been lying about, and someone's been lying about you, which has caused a toxic environment. And this situation, we have the metaphor of the adventurer who lost a friend. And there's this woman who's very pleased that you lost your friend. The friend died along the way of your adventure. This metaphor relates to whatever this situation is that you've been lying about. And she's, or a person's been lying about you, which caused a toxic environment. And so you're being called to set the record straight and be honest. Tell people what actually went down from your point of view. And also, as you break out of this contract to your argument, you shall find rest and peace. You shall feel more masculine. And you shall be able to see through a more enlightened mind where your masculinity lies. Alright, I'm gonna end your reading there, just because we are out of time. But let me pull this one time card as I did for the other piles. 2. September and 6 months from now. And August. I want to say, regarding of when you're watching this, September and August might be months that are special for your breaking out. 6 months from now, you should expect to see changes, right? This is in regards to when you can expect to break out of the stagnant energy. 6 months from now, you should start seeing changes. September and August is important months. So look forward to that. And I'll see you next time, okay? Thank you. Pile number 3. Alright everyone, that was all the readings. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry for disturbances. I shall look into working on that. But I felt the message came through anyway. I hope at least you did. If not, leave a comment. I want to remind you that these readings are all free of charge. If you want to be nice, leave a like. If not, don't. But they cost nothing and you can watch them anytime. Thank you very much.